I'm Chris. That's Tyler. Tyler, I want to figure out a way to spin this Guardians segment for the good, but I want to acknowledge what's actually going on right now. They just got swept by the Rangers right when they were knocking on the door of a playoff spot where they had a chance to make up some ground. The Yankees also lost 3 straight, but they had an advantage. But them getting swept this week of all weeks definitely feels like it took all of the air out of the Guardians' tires. And it does feel like what you said last week is super true. They emptied the tank to get really, really close. And it's hard to get really close and then get over that hump when you've emptied the tank. It's like when a sprinter runs really fast to catch up. You know, it's tricky. Tyler, I want to give you the chance to react to the Texas series. I want to talk about what this team looks like the rest of the year, what this team looks like moving forward. And then I'm going to ask you to put your GM cap on. Tyler, they lost to the Rangers. It was a sweep.
Yeah, it's hibachi. It's cooked. They just look like a tired baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Kwan, since the trade deadline, this is his slash 224, 250, 282.
Not good enough.
I think Buddy might actually be hurt. Like his wrist is like hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was the Guardians, I would shut him down and just like go get it fixed. Be ready for spring training. Like this, to me, it just seems like they are a little lifeless, and like the dog days, the grind that they went through, kind of caught up to them. The young guys seem to have hit a wall.
Yeah, which is natural for young guys. Like that happens.
Gavin Williams. This is his second bad. Well, no, two out of 3. His last 3 starts have been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Until I tracked it in the first inning. He faced 4 batters in the first inning, and he got to favorable counts against 3 of the 4 hitters, which would be a 1-2 or 0-2 count. He proceeded to throw 10 total pitches after getting into those advantageous counts.
That's a young pitcher thing, right? That's bad.
Not good enough. It's just not like until he learns to do that, until he learns to be more efficient or have something that he can really get somebody to swing and miss with, it's just going to be a lot of inconsistency. And like, you can't, like, he's just not an ace. Like that's a very important thing. You can't be an ace and throw 5 innings.
Does he have like a swing and miss drastic put away pitch that you want to see him go
his
to
curveball,
more?
his knuckle curveball, his batting average against his knuckle curveball is 70.
Well, I guess like that's what I'm asking. Like, do you feel like he's not going to it enough?
No, he just doesn't throw it competitively with 2 strikes. He spikes the shit out of it, or it's not a very competitive pitch. It just, to me, he's not getting enough swing and miss, and is not consistent enough and efficient enough. He gets in advantageous counts all the time and just can't finish. It's just one of these, and like those things add up. We threw like 50 pitches through 2 innings. Like it's just not good enough.
It's like later in the year. Yeah,
it's not good enough, and like he's just kind of. I think a lot of those guys are hitting the wall, and it's okay. I think they're. CJ Capus, it looks like he's hitting the ball hard. I'm not going to really, Kyle Manzardo's putting together more good at bats. Gabe Arias is back to being Gabe Arias as far as just waving at balls.
He's so fun to watch, though, as the whole package.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his defense he made a sick play.
He's got the strongest arm I've seen in the last 3 years from a shortstop in Major League. Like, here we go. Like, his arm might be the strongest shortstop arm I've seen since Andrelton Simmons.
Yeah.
Like it's him and Ellie, right? Him and Ellie.
Ellie did. I think Ellie's arm is better. I do.
Okay.
But like Gabe's, like he's explosive on defense. He just swings and misses way too much, and he's swinging out of the zone and he's missing in the zone. It's just like it's hard to be consistent that way, and so they're just it's just time. And it's okay. And it's like Nolan Jones, like stop playing Nolan Jones, stop playing Carlos Santana. If anything, asking me to put my GM hat on, I think I'm shelving Hunter Gaddis and Cade Smith for the rest of the year. Like I'm just punting this season. Like it's just those two guys need a break. And then I'm starting to give Hosey a couple days off here and there.
Do you want to start to like bring the young guys up?
Yes.
Okay.
So, bring the young guys up. Let's see what they can do. Give them a taste. See who flashes. Like, I know you want Travis Bazzana, but just bring him up. Give him a taste. See what it looks like. His OPS in AAA is like 800. Yeah. His on-base percentage in AAA is like 500. His batting average is low, but he's walked multiple times, multiple games. He's seen the ball well, and now he's starting to hit, and he's hitting for a little bit of pop too. It's just like, just bring him up. Even if you mean starting him in AAA next year, that's fine. Just give him a taste. Give a lot of these guys. Pete Halpin, give him a taste. Bring up Franco Alman. I know he's had a tough, wasn't very good this year, but he's got legit stuff.
Yeah, just see it.
Let's just see what it looks like. I mean, and I know it's like people are like, oh, well, then nobody's going to go watch the games. Well, nobody's going to go watch the games anyways. They're out of it. It's over.
And I'll push back a little bit. I think that people get more excited if you're out of it, seeing the young player, seeing the future. Now, maybe you don't get as rowdy of a crowd, but you're going to get the really passionate fans who want to go see young guys play.
And people are going to watch on TV.
Real thing.
People will definitely watch on TV.
Right. And the TV split is important because here's the thing. If this team is really, really out of it, a lot of people aren't going to go. The same people that weren't going to go before won't go now.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm a believer in bringing the young guys up because here's the thing. The best case versus the worst case for Bazzana is so one way, right? Because best case, he adapts to major league pitching and is hitting the ball hard, like the guys that were all drafted right behind him, like Nick Kurtz and Jacques. That's the best case. Worst case is, okay, he's not ready, and we know how big league pitchers are attacking him. So when he starts the year next year in AAA, we know what he has to work on. So it's the best case and worst case are just so close. Not so close to each other, but there's neither of them are red button, blow this thing up. You're not going to kill the kid's confidence or kill the kid's career if he struggles in the major leagues for the final third of a season that the Guardians, probably won't make a playoff in.
Correct. So it just, to me, it feels very much, and maybe sitting Hunter Gaddis and Kate Smith is a little extreme.
It's a little extreme, but 2 long seasons now.
Yeah. So to me, and this may not be a bad thing because I made the argument that them making the playoffs with a $75 million active payroll is a bad thing for the long term because it tells Paul Dolan that he never has to spend any money.
Right.
And when you have the worst batting average and the second worst on-base percentage and second worst slugging and the second worst OPS, you're getting what you pay for. Mm-hmm. And so now it's showing Paul, Antonetti can go and be I need some help, man. I need something. Give me something. And the pitching, the starting pitching needs some help, and the bullpen needs to get healthy. That's what I mean. There's three things that need to happen. The young kids need to continue to develop as offensively.
And one of them's got to pop. And that's, I always stay by that. One of them has to be a star.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to say a star in Cleveland because Jose Ramirez is a star, but he's only a star to baseball sickos.
Yeah. Well, I think people around baseball acknowledge him as a star, superstar. I think that one of these players needs to be, I'll call it a Jazz Chisholm level player or better.
Yeah. So they need to continue to get better. The starting pitching desperately needs some help. That to me has to be where the money is spent. Mm-hmm. If you're going to spend some money in free agency or you're going to make a trade, it has to be for legitimate Major League Baseball ready starting pitching. And the bullpen needs to get healthy. I think they have the pieces in the organization currently for the bullpen. They're just not healthy. Sam Henches is a 6'7" left-handed pitcher that throws 97. Mm-hmm. Trevor Stephan, I'm a very hesitant on because the velocity just still has not come back. You and I both like Andrew Walters
a lot,
and Kate Smith and Hunter Gaddis have just kind of been run down. Eric Sabowski is pretty good too. I mean, there are pieces there that are worth it, that they're there for, and they just need to get healthy. So like this team isn't far. This team is not as far away from last year as we think they are, but you are getting exactly what you paid for.
Yeah.
This is the worst offense in Major League Baseball.
How would you feel about a rotation of Messick, Bybee, Gavin, Slade, Logan Allen, and then you'd want to sign one? So like Shane Bieber.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if you can like go, and I said like they should make a play to bring him back. Not to mention Shane Bieber's first time out because 9 Ks in 6 innings.
He looks so disgusting, dude.
The pro's pro, baby. That's what he is.
Yeah, just working through it.
I mean, to me, Logan Allen has earned himself another year in the rotation. Mm-hmm. To me, Tanner Bybee and Slade, if they were to sign a player like a Shane Bieber, who's guaranteed to be in the starting rotation, Slade's probably the odd man out because Tanner Bybee has that contract.
Has an extension that's very team friendly.
It's team friendly, and he not going to finish it in Cleveland. Gets guaranteed. No. But and then it's a very simple conversation with Tanner, like, hey, get your shit together.
Well, do you move Slade, or Slade's a young piece though that's shown upside? Do you try to move him? Do you move him to the bullpen? Do you try to get a bat for him? Like, what do you do with Slade if he is the odd man out?
Well, I think he's going to be part of the conversation in spring training.
Honestly, spring training next year for the Guardians could be a really exciting like pitchers battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be awesome. I think you got to do something, and like he also but he can also go be sent to AAA.
Yeah, no, he's got options.
He's got options. So like send him to AAA and let him like, if he's still like giving up meatballs and like getting hit. I mean, that's the thing. It's like Slade's never had an issue with like walks or command or any of that. He just
he honestly lives too much in the zone.
He just gets hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it just there has to be some sort of adjustment. And now I have to like really look like.
Well, we'll study it the offseason.
Yeah, and just seeing like what he needs to work on. But this team isn't far away. It's the future is if they do what I think they're going to do, which is they're going to lean into these like I said last show. I cannot remember a time where the Guardians felt this good about their farm system from a position player perspective.
Yeah, and
I think they're going to lean into it. I think we're going to be even younger next year.
Which is a good thing. The younger you get, the more money you can spend on a piece. And I'm just curious to see if they will spend on the piece, given kind of lack of success this year. Now, I don't want to, I guess, like on the chances they make it in, which I like to live in reality, but what are they now? 5 games back?
Yeah.
They're probably not going to make it in. But if they did, it would take like them getting really, really hot. I don't know if they've got that in them. But right now, standing wise, they have fallen below Texas and Kansas City at 5 games back with, I think, 29 games left.
Not only would they have to get like scorched earth hot,
yeah,
but they'd also need some help.
Yep. And they don't control their own fate anymore.
Correct. So it's just like, I would love for them to make the postseason because, listen, any more baseball that, Kyle Manzardo gets to play and CJ Kayfus gets to play would be great from that perspective. But again, I think that Paul Dolan needs to be reminded like, hey, you don't get to fucking spend pennies and make millions.
And we're not saying like, and me and you had this debate a couple times, and my point was you have to be in the top 20 in spending.
What is the top 20 in spending? What's 20th? 150? 175?
Maybe 135.
Yeah, man, it's just like when the Guardians were like 150, 160, they made it to the World Series and then went to the ALCS like 3 years in a row.
Yeah. So right now they're 22. No, they got to be higher than top 20. So their active payroll right now is $60 million.
To pay for.
Yeah, their total payroll is 97. but obviously like injuries and all that. But top 20 would get you top 20 in total payroll, puts you at 125.
I mean, 125 is just not. It's just not that much money. It's just really not. It's to even the 140 is just not that much money for them.
Honestly, be over 100 to give yourself a competitive shot, especially with the way you build your roster. Like Milwaukee is at 112, and they're 81-49 because like their lineup doesn't fall off the cliff after Yelich. They've got like a lot of really balanced hitters. I mean, Detroit is at 156. They're 78-53, led by a pitching staff. Like honestly, like you could get up to 150, I think, easily and feel really, really good.
I mean, I've said it before. If the Guardians in the last 10 years averaged $150 million of payroll in the last 10 years, they would have won a World Series by now.
Yeah. Like there's no reason for the Pirates to have a higher active payroll than the Guardians. Like the Dolans should be ashamed of themselves for that.
Yeah. But, it is what it is, man. I think they're young players. Like we said before the season, I said, you asked me how many at-bats Kyle Manzardo needed. I said over 500. But like this was a massive success for Kyle Manzardo.
I think this is a huge success for him. I think he's solidified himself as, I sent you guys the analytic thread on how he's got Schwarber level upside. I don't think he'll get there, but like the batted ball data likes him at this age the same way it likes Schwarber at this age.
Yeah.
And he's shown, and honestly, like even though his metrics have not been great, he's got 3 or 4 metrics that are really, really encouraging that really make people believe, okay, like he's got a real shot. So I like his upside. I think his upside is closer to like a Matt Olson's in terms of like bat hitting wise, not Schwarber. But again, like just really, really encouraging.
But you know what both those guys have in common? They play every day.
They do. They do play every day. And that's the thing that has to change next year. He's got to play every day next year.
Has to.
Like he has
to be your full-time DH next year.
There's no platooning.
David Fry, if he can't throw, sayonara. If you can't catch, sayonara. I can't do it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not fighting that fight. I'm not watching this happen. I'm over it. There are levels to this. And David Fry is not on the same level of a hitter as talented as Kyle Manzardo. He's just not.
And like you want Kyle Manzardo to get as close to his peak as possible before Josie falls off the cliff.
Correct.
And like how do we do that? We do that by getting him a ton of at-bats. Like we've seen how Boston's handled Roman Anthony. We're going to play you every day, no matter what. We don't care who's on the mound.
Right.
We don't care about your splits.
So yeah, it's all good. It's
you don't seem as heartbroken about it as because I think you could see the light at the end of the tunnel for next year.
Yeah, I think you just like when you just look at what they're paying for. Like this is who they were.
Yeah.
And like, what it would really help is if Jose Ramirez went into Paul Dolan's office and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And that's what that might.
That might be coming more than people realize.
Yeah, I hope so. I would love for that to happen.
Yeah.
So,
this is a bizarre Browns weekend, man. Like really
from one dumpster fire to another.
Yeah. I just want to say this. I was at a wedding and somebody, oh my God, Sanders got cut, and I'm over like, what? ESPN got him with the headline: Shiloh Sanders got cut. I guess. So I was like, oh.
Shiloh Sanders should just go start his coaching career right now,
or a reality TV show, something.
Yeah,
but no. Shador and Dylan Gabriel both played, and I'm going to let you take the lead on this one as well because you know a little bit more than me about this whole thing. But the whole game optically, I felt weird. This felt like okay. Let's make sure Dylan Gabriel has a bounce back day. Is how I watched it. I want to make sure I'm right on that.
No, Dylan played well. I mean, he did. He did all the same things minus the turnover.
Yeah.
It was on time. It was accurate. It was all those things. It just wasn't there was no elite throws.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like exceptional throws like, oh, wow. He just does like he makes the easy plays look easy, which is Great. We haven't had that in a long time. But again, I just like, he is not a franchise quarterback.
He's fascinating.
Dylan Gabriel is not going to change the fortunes of the Cleveland Browns franchise.
No, he's not. But it was fascinating. I do want to give him some respect for kind of how he handled things. He didn't try to play outside of his body. He never gets sped up. He doesn't try to play outside of what he's capable of. Yeah, I'm saying like I can acknowledge that. Like that's a good thing.
No, yeah. I mean, think about it, dude. In the last he was in college for 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the last 6 years, he's played more football games than like some guys that have been in the NFL for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, no, he's played a lot of football.
He's played almost the same amount of football games as Justin Herbert, I think.
Yeah, he's played a lot of football, dude.
I mean, he has the most career starts in college football history.
Yeah. More than Case Keenum, I think, is second.
Like, he knows he has so many more reps. It's not even close.
Yeah. Well, still,
Dylan Gabriel is as close to a finished product as you could probably get in the NFL.
Oh, I agree. I 100% agree.
And so, like, that to me is like, he is who he is.
Yeah.
And like, he's just not a quarterback where you're going to go into the playoffs and go on the road and face a really good team and be like, go out, duel that guy. And he's just not that guy. And that's okay. He's going to have a long NFL career. He's going to. I'm telling everybody right now, Dylan Gabriel is going to have a 10-year NFL career.
You know whose recruiting class he was in?
No.
Do you remember DeJuan Mathis? He's committed to Ohio State before flipping to Georgia.
Whoa.
Yeah. He's that recruiting class, which is nuts.
So it was a very strange game. You know, he was 12 of 19 for 129 yards, a touchdown, 100.5 rating, no sacks, 1 touchdown. Guess what his yards per completion average was?
What was it?
6.8.
Yeah. What my joke to you right before the draft or right after the draft was, you know, it's 3rd and 6. He'll get you 6. It's 3rd and 10. He'll get you 6.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Again, I keep saying this. Dylan Gabriel, in order for Dylan Gabriel to have maximized success, everybody around him has to be really good and everything has to go right.
I don't think this team has the receivers for him. Right.
No.
I just want to ask you about how the end of the game was handled a little bit.
So I do, before I like really get into that, I watched Shador. It was bad. It wasn't great. So Shador was playing with guys that are going to get cut, guys that are not going to make the team, guys that are going to be practice squad guys on other NFL rosters. So like not advantageous for Shador Sanders whatsoever. However, he still has that college in him where he will just drift backwards in the pocket and drift and drift and drift. And it's like, buddy, you're not playing against Texas Tech's defense.
Mm-mm.
You're not like, even the guys that are going to be practice squad play, like the third stringers in the NFL are better than a college defense in the Big 12.
These linemen aren't going to take bad angles. These linemen are more athletic than you. These linemen are not going to miss tackles. These linemen are also going to stay in pursuit for forever. Like, you're not dealing with the big Texas Tech lineman who really tackling you is down his list because he's got a chemistry test tomorrow and then he's got to go solve world hunger before noon the next day.
Yeah,
and he's exhausted. Like, we're talking about peak performance.
You're talking about guys now, like, third stringers in the NFL still make good money. I'm not saying this, but like, these are guys that this is their job. This is their life, their livelihood. Like, they're trying to get a job, and their job includes tackling you. And respectfully, I'm not trying to be. No, I'll be disrespectfully. The guys. In certain cases, this is their only shot. Yeah. They don't have other skills. This is their only skill. So they have to make this work. And so, these guys, like you said, they're going to do all the little things right. And they're not, you backpedaling and drifting in the pocket's never going to work. Never. So like Did Shador help himself? Absolutely not. He didn't do himself any favors. He got sacked 5 times for 41 yards. You can't get sacked for 8 yards every time you get sacked.
Were you frustrated that they didn't give Shador any reps with the twos?
Yes.
Why did they do that?
I think it's time to admit something. I think it's time that we all admit that the Browns organization doesn't feel the way that we feel as a fan base about Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
I think it's time to admit that. And honestly, I don't even know if I want to go down the rabbit hole of like collusion and sabotage.
We can avoid that for now, but we did talk about it last episode of those.
I just like, they're telling you everything that you need to know. There is no, like, you don't need to like read to the tea leaves. They're just telling you, like, they don't think that he's as good as Dylan Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they're right or wrong is a different conversation than the one I'm trying to have. They're just like telling, like, they don't feel that way, and which is why he's getting the reps that he's getting. And so down the road, we'll find that out. We'll find that answer of who's better. But right now, they like Dylan Gabriel more. They just do. And so, is that a Stefanski call? Is it a Andrew Berry call? Who's making these decisions?
I want to answer that. But first, I want to ask you, why draft Shador?
It's a great question. It's a great question. Oh, sorry. I didn't answer your question about how they ended the game. It was very strange. They benched Shador. Not benched. They took him out of the game to play Tyler Huntley in a 2-minute situation. Tyler Huntley goes out and scores a touchdown with those same players. And then the next day, the next day, he gets cut.
That makes me feel like they were trying to avoid the just in case if Shador scores.
Or was it like, this could get worse? Like, would this be worse for him if it goes bad?
Oh, okay. I don't think they cared about. My thought was like, I feel like they preemptively like let's avoid the madness. Shador has not played good. We can get out of this clean, and we've got a reason to kind of. The fans will now believe us that Dylan Gabriel isn't as good. But that's like,
due respect, Chris. That is some next level thinking in the heat of a game. I just don't think they're thinking that. I don't even think they're thinking what I was thinking. I think they were thinking like, I think competitive people get in competitive environments and like, I want to win the game. And like Shador wasn't playing well enough. They're just like,
okay.
Screw it.
That's probably closer to it.
That's my personal belief. Like, if they are thinking like next level Dr. Evil shit during a game, like their agendas during the game, that's a whole like that's crazy.
But why cut him then right afterwards?
It could have been they were doing him a favor where they told him like, hey, we're going to get you some burn because we're going to cut you and get you.
That's actually probably the most likely thing.
Like, that could be a thing. They could have said like, hey, we'll get you some tape that you could put on that you can go out there and like you get a contract.
Yeah, that's the most likely case scenario.
I just, you always be like Dr. Evil in your shit, like thinking of it.
Man, I went to the Ohio State thing where in the spring game with Will Howard and Devin Brown, that Fox cut out the only highlight of the only touchdown of the whole day. So, since then I've been like deep in this like conspiracy theory bag because that's one that I still can't explain.
Yeah. So very strange. But, didn't love it. So,
but back to the Browns and Shador. Why draft Shador?
That's a question I just don't know. I really don't know, because here's the question I wanted Chris to answer, because I think he'll gives you something that you're really, really like. But in my opinion, I feel like head coaches in all 3 major sports have less of a say than they ever have before.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way as a general manager you can go to your head coach and be like, we're going to give you 4 quarterbacks. We're going to give you a 40-year-old, a 20-something journeyman, and 2 rookies that couldn't be polar opposites. And also, one of them is the son of Deion Primetime Sanders. Good luck. And then think that that's going to go well. That's a circus.
It is.
That's a circus in Jacksonville. You put that situation anywhere in the NFL.
Anywhere.
It's a circus. And then just because it's in Cleveland, it's even worse. So to me, I just wonder, there's no way that Kevin Stefanski was like, yeah, Andrew, yeah, AB, draft him. Just no fucking way, bro. I just don't believe that.
I've toyed with this all day. Right now, GMs have way too much power in sports comparatively to the head coaches, I believe, than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And I think what it does and what it's doing in Cleveland is it's creating far more of a mess than anybody wants. And I guess I'll start with where I think coaches are. I think that coaches used to be the buck stopped with them no matter what. It was they got the credit, they got the blame. I think somewhere along the way, when former coaches or former players started being GMs and were really, really bad GMs, I think the GM pendulum swung so far the analytic route and swung so far the roster construction route that we lost something kind of in there. And for me, when the GM gets way more power, and it starts to bleed over into day-to-day practice stuff, because the old role of the GM, Tyler, was what? Put the roster together and let the coach make the calls. The new road is put the roster together and it bleeds into how we're going to make the calls. We see it in baseball. Baseball kind of happened first. Analytic departments took over to the point where every decision a manager was making during the game essentially became scripted by the analytics department and in tune
based on the situation.
Yeah, the GM. Now in football, we're seeing it where these GMs are scripting coaches' decisions instead of letting the coaches have full-on competitions about who's going to start and who's not. Andrew Berry introducing this situation took power away from Stefanski, did it not?
It had to have.
Because how in the world, if you're a GM and you're a head coach and you're on the hot seat, it's like, well, I'm the GM. I drafted Dylan Gabriel first. So you, the coach, have to give Dylan Gabriel way more opportunities. That is way, way more apparent. And I thought to myself, okay, Chris, well, did this happen? Was this happening years ago? And you know what example I went to? The Seattle Seahawks ended up paying Matt Flynn, a lot of money.
Yep.
He had a big game in Green Bay. Paid him a lot of money. The GM then drafted a quarterback in the third round. The quarterback was Russell Wilson. They just paid this kid a ton of money, but they had a full-on quarterback battle, and they let it play out during the preseason. Both guys went through things. They let it play out, and it wasn't like, okay, we gave you more money, so you're going to get the first go. It's like, no, you guys came in, first time with the team, you're equals, and I'm going to let Pete Carroll, the established coach, handle the battle and make a call. That is not happening in Cleveland at all. And there was no thought of that ever happening in Cleveland. In fact, when they were both drafted, me and you didn't even discuss that being a thing a single time because it was predetermined. The guy that was going to get the most chances to shine was going to be the guy that the GM drafted first. And that immediately hinders the head coach's job because guess what? Now, if you're Stefanski, you have to structure practice with that in mind rather than when you were Pete Carroll, you structured practice in the mindset is I got to find the best quarterback.
Yeah, and the NFL is a win at all costs, more than any league, any professional sports league by a mile. Mm-hmm. The NFL is win at all costs. And so when the coach has decisions to make, it's just about who's going to give me the best chance to win.
Right.
And what he should be doing. And to be fair, the NFL is not really about development, and it never really has been. It's about team development, but not player development. That's their job now. They are professional athletes. It's their job to go home after the season and get better and work on their things. But when you get to camp, it's about developing the team and developing the competition, who's playing the best to give us the best chance to win. Period. End of story. And there's no way you can do that when you have 4 quarterbacks all in different stages of their careers and all with different personalities. Like Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel couldn't be opposite people, couldn't have had opposite trajectories, opposite stories, opposite talents. They're different skill sets. And it's just like, what's the point of this? And also, you can make the argument with Kenny Pickett going down. I wonder what kind of wrench that threw in it. But it also, to me, tells me if you pick a 40-year-old quarterback, I think what's really more important is you're telling your fan base that everybody else in the room stinks. Oh. Because there is no future with a 40-year-old quarterback. Like, make no mistake about it. The Steelers, if they didn't draft, like the Steelers drafted just Will Howard. Like, you could say the same thing about the Steelers signing Aaron Rodgers. To me, that tells me that the Steelers are a desperate football team.
Well, can I push back and defend the Steelers a little bit? One of the big issues with the Browns, at least right now, where I think Andrew Berry messed up, made things impossible for Stefanski, 2 parts. Like somewhere along the way, it went from, be right to now the coach's job is now to prove that the GM's always right. And
That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I'll unpack that a little bit later on. But the issue with this Browns room is you have guys at different parts of their careers that don't mesh with other things. So usually when you have the old sage quarterback, you want him, you got the job, and you're going to mentor the young quarterbacks. The wrench in this is that Andrew Berry introduced Kenny Pickett to the room. So now instead of Joe Flacco focusing on, all right, it's my job and I'm going to mentor the young ones, you have, well, it's my job. I'm going to have to mentor the young ones, but at first I got to win a quarterback battle. Like that's the wrench that's in this, because with old quarterbacks, it's always the job is to, it's your job and you're going to mentor the young ones. Now with Joe Flacco, he's got to win the battle while mentoring the young ones, and Kenny Pickett's got to win the battle while not mentoring the young ones, because he's the one battling with the young ones and the old ones, and that is how you do the opposite of develop a room.
Yeah, I just don't know how you're developing your team.
You just, and you develop your team by developing each and every room. The quarterback room is a mess because Kenny Pickett is battling with both. Joe Flacco is battling with one. And there's no one in here. You introduce 2 quarterbacks to a circus with no one that can mentor them with their full attention. At least in Pittsburgh with Will Howard, it's just Will and Aaron.
If the Browns draft a quarterback next draft, what do you think about this draft?
I mean, if you draft a quarterback in next year's draft, I think you blow up the whole room. I think you should blow up the whole room.
It's like, what was the point of all this?
This is what works. Old quarterbacks, rookies, no wrench in the middle. That's what works.
But just one rookie. I just don't believe that 2 rookies it's a thing. I just
2 rookies is hard.
I've only seen it one time, and it was RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
And it took an injury because there wasn't really a battle. RG3 got hurt.
RG3 was drafted 2nd overall, right?
Yeah, and he was the guy.
Kirk Cousins was drafted, the 3rd round?
3rd round. He was a 3rd rounder.
So, 2nd pick, 3rd round. Very clear designation of who's who.
Yeah, and they had a battle, and RG3 won the battle easily.
Either way, 2nd pick, 3rd round, night and day difference. 3rd round and 5th round, same thing.
Well, I guess my thing is that I think the talent gap is probably similar though.
Maybe.
I think it's honestly even greater. I think the gap between Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel talent-wise is bigger than the gap between RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
It's not that the problem is that Dylan's a more polished quarterback because he's played more football.
Yeah.
The ceiling, the floor with Dylan is here and Shedeur's is here.
Yeah.
But the ceiling for Dylan is here. The ceiling for Shedeur is up here. It's what are we doing? This is stupid.
Dylan Gabriel.
Gabriel, I I want to make sure that I'm not just dragging this kid through the mud because, like I said, he's going to have a long NFL career. He's going to be around a long time. He's going to have multiple contracts and he's going to play for multiple teams. Okay. However, there are levels to this. He is not good enough to win a Super Bowl. He's not a Super Bowl franchise-changing quarterback. He's just not. And I don't know if Shador is. I don't even know if I want to comment on that. I just know that I want to find out because there is something there. There is talent there.
What I know is that if someone held a gun in my head and said, who can get closer to doing the things that Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud does, I'm saying Shador Sanders, right?
Because Shador Sanders is gonna test the waters and throw balls that Dylan Gabriel can't even dream about throwing.
Yeah.
And
I do think Dylan Gabriel can work certain places, but I think it takes a really good like I think Dylan Gabriel could work in San Fran, like in a pinch, in a spot start. I think Dylan Gabriel could. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I tried.
Dylan Gabriel has to be around a lot of really good players.
Mm-hmm. He's got to be around a good run game, a creative throw game, and a creative OC.
Correct. It's just, to me, and Shador may stink. This whole like patting the ball and drifting back, and if he never gets rid of that, then he will never work in the NFL.
Yeah, that is a dangerous trait that he has. I'll say that.
Absolutely. That is a dangerous game to play. And again, but at the same time though, like this whole offseason has been it's just been a disaster.
Yeah.
Watching them manage this quarterback situation, and it's just like I don't even know if I can blame Stefanski.
No, you can't blame Stefanski, dog. Like, here's the thing, Tyler.
It's like you gave him a house that just got hit by a tornado and we're like, live in it.
Yeah.
What?
Like I brought you a kickball and told you to go build a motorcycle helmet. Excuse me?
I always go back to the top. Jimmy Haslam, to me, I think Jimmy Haslam lives his life in chaos. I think he runs his business in chaos. Like he's been sued many times for his like actual business.
Yeah.
Gotten in trouble multiple times with his actual business. I think Jimmy Haslam lives his life in chaos, and it leaks itself into the Browns organization.
That's
because it's been nothing but chaos since he's been the owner.
Somewhere along the way, GMs went from being with the head coach, and it's like, let's get this right together, to then GMs became, the coach relationship became, I'm the GM, you're the coach, you have to prove that I'm right. And that is where the falling apart happens.
Yeah, I think when GM started getting more credit than they used to when it became a different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when you were, and maybe this is because we were like still like teenagers.
No, I thought that's why I went back to the Seattle thing.
But like when you were 16 to 20, how many general managers in sports did you actually know their name?
Not very many, man.
Not very many. And I don't know if that's because like we're adults and like shit now, or it's because that they're just more famous than they've ever been. I don't know. But like, I didn't even know who the Browns GM was for the longest time. I think the first Browns GM I knew was like, no, who was old buddy before John Dorsey?
I was going to ask you who buddy was before John Dorsey was, because I don't remember.
Ray Farmer.
Ray, that's right.
Exactly. Ray Farmer.
That's right. I couldn't tell you shit about his resume.
Neither could I.
But that is what it is. Again, like I think GMs, I think the best thing a GM could do.
Oh, you know who was there was somebody after Ray Farmer, before John Dorsey.
Who was between them?
It was Sashi Brown.
Sashi Brown. That's right. The Sashi Brown era
John
was
Dorsey
crazy.
In all the picks.
Yeah.
If your
Sashi
team
set him up,
you should give a contract to Sashi Brown.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. He did have all the picks, which made it an advantageous job. He really bit the sword.
Oh,
he was famous, dude.
Didn't bite it.
Sat
on it. Fell on it.
Sat on it's crazy.
Boss.
Anyway, Browns are 3-0 to end the preseason.
Preseason champs.
Preseason champs. I'm excited for actual football,
postseason.
Hmm?
Last time they went 3-0 in the postseason, didn't win a game.
Yeah, went on to lose every game.
You know what's funny, though, is I am picking the Browns to beat the Bengals at home in the home opener, at the season opener.
The Bengals look like a lost puppy, dude. It looks like bad and over.
Myles Garrett, I think week 1, Myles Garrett's going to remind everybody, like, stop caring if I'd like to drive fast. I'm getting 4 sacks.
I'm not going to lie. If I'm the Bengals, I might sit Burrow week 1.
Myles is coming.
I don't want fresh Myles looking at my quarterback across the way when I got paper offensive line. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'll play you the second time when Bro's hurt.
I believe in my heart of hearts, like, the Browns are going to beat the Bengals week 1.
That, and yeah, bro, again, like, if I'm the Bengals, I'm benching Burrow week 1. I don't want, or I'm telling my left tackle, hold the whole night, see how many they call. Just hold. They can't call on every play. Just hold the whole night.
Yeah.
Tyler, just quick football note. Iowa State beats Kansas State in Ireland in what was a funky game.
It rained nonstop. Color me shocked. In Dublin, Ireland, it rained.
Always rain over there. The ball's always wet. And it was just a sloppy, drunk game. We had just fumble to start the game. Avery Johnson in the first quarter had 1 completion, and it was to an offensive lineman of a ball that got tipped, and an offensive line caught and fell forward. Yeah. But it ended up being a fun game at the end, and Iowa State ended up winning. Look, man, I'll tell you this, dude. Iowa State and Rocco Becht, they're fun to watch, and the slop conditions benefit them. Absolutely. Because they're less speed and space. They're more in your face. You feel me? Like, Iowa State really got it going on. Bars. Wait a second. Let's flick the lighter. Matt Campbell looks like Brian Hartline's cousin that wasn't good at sports.
It's football season when Matt Campbell wins a big game, and there's the automatic Matt Campbell, you are the next coach at the Ohio State University.
You are the next coach. I like Matt a lot. I honestly, bro, I think he would have taken that Michigan job if it opened up.
I am a Matt Campbell fan. He's a fellow Purple Raider.
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of people. But with all due respect, I do not want Matt Campbell as my coach at Ohio State.
I wouldn't be mad at it, but I wouldn't love it. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I wouldn't hate it. I really think that he was waiting for that Michigan job to open up.
Maybe.
And that would have been dangerous. Him at Michigan would have been very bad for Ohio State, I think. Not bad, just annoying. My bad. It's like when you open the door and that fly lets in your house and you can't kill it.
Yeah, I just I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. But yes, I'm 0-1 on my bets.
But it doesn't count, bro. It's the Big 12. And
it's week 0, so whatever.
Yeah.
We'll count it for the overall record. We'll count it, but we won't hold it against me.
It's just funny. Big 12 in the rain, dog. It's a whole thing's a toss-up. That's why I was
Big 12 in the rain in a different country.
Yeah.
In a different continent. And not continent.
Yeah, that's a different continent. Yeah, Ireland, big dog. It's across the big old pond. And I'll say this, Tyler. Pick upsets when it comes to Ireland, dude, because those games, the travel shrinks the gap, the weather shrinks the gap, and it becomes a mess.
We got a big week 1 slate coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Coming Thursday. Be ready. I'm coming back with a vengeance.
A vengeance. So I just want to ask you, I guess, for Ohio State, anything you want to hear out of this week at camp? Or do you want it to go 0 dark 30? You want it to be dead silent?
Dead silence.
I think I want dead silence too. I want
nothing.
I want no leaks. In fact, honestly, I don't know if I'll make a call this week. If someone texts me, I'll be like, oh, look, but I don't think I want to make a call this week. I don't want to hurt the program. I'm just telling you right now, man.
I just want to see, here's the big storyline that I want to see that I don't think anybody's talking about is I want to see Ryan Day's encore performance after winning a national title.
Oh, this has not gotten a lot of talk.
Can you motivate a team? Can you be the motivator that can motivate a team that has just won a national championship? And I know there are different players, but can you motivate them to come out and play angry and fast and physical with something to prove? Because the thing about it is Buckeye Nation still thinks Ryan Day has something to prove.
That's what I was going to say. Like, the fascinating thing about Ryan Day this year is that he still has a huge chip on his shoulder, even after winning the Natty. How often can you say that?
Correct. And so I think Ryan Day has said all the right things in interviews and whatnot. And, there's been some rumblings that he wants to be Woody Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to have multiple, wants all of them, wants to have the dynasty. Well, this is a good show me.
Mm-hmm.
Come out here and beat Texas, and it's on, brother. I mean, it is big time. You go out there and you look good, and like looking good is like winning by a touchdown or winning by 10 points, a 9 point, whatever it is. Like, this is going to be a heavyweight battle. Like, this is going to be nasty. This is going to be tough. I don't see it being somebody dominating this game one way or the other. I just don't see that happening. I think the defenses are too good. And we're going to have a lot of talk about Ohio State.
A big breakdown.
Tons. But I just want to see what Ryan Day's moving like, how he looks, how he talks, how he moves on the sideline, what the players look like. Are they playing, fast and physical and like with a chip on their shoulder? Because I think the defense will, because according to our guy Ron, we got a bunch of crash outs on our defense.
Yeah, and Caleb Downs, I can't understate his importance to the culture of this whole team.
Yeah. So can you, there's kind of been a little bit of whispers that Ryan Day maybe isn't the quarterback guru that we all thought he was last couple years. This is your chance.
Yeah.
Get a guy ready. Can he come out and be ready? Can he come out and be good enough to beat Texas? Doesn't have to be a finished product, but does he look the part, or does he look scared?
You know what I think is likely with Ryan Day, and I don't want this to be a slight in any way. I don't think he's a quarterback guru. I think he's a throw game expert. Is what I think is likely. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, like, I think that he's so good at scheming up the throw game that it makes it seem like he's a quarterback guru, when reality is he's so good at getting receivers open and like opening up offenses and creating one-on-one one-on-one matchups that it's like almost an illusion a little bit, if that makes sense.
Sure. That might be true.
And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think that might be better.
Yeah, in the long run, it's absolutely.
Yeah, I think long run that's better. Like, if I could just get a guy with traits and plug him into my offense and kind of blow this thing up, I think that's really good for the success, rather than like having to wait on like a long-term development of a kid.
Right.
So
yeah, I think that's the underlying thing. I mean, there's plenty of storylines to talk about that are been talked about ad nauseum. Also, side note, Chris Henry Jr. That's an alien. That is
unbelievable, dude. Like,
that's another alien, bro.
Can we make him the number one player in the country again? Because they kept sliding him on the boards.
I don't know how you can.
I mean,
I didn't think people that big were supposed to move that fast and that smooth.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, he's going to have to be a tight end at some point.
Nope.
But then when he makes catches like that, I'm like, you know what? What do I know?
Yeah, that's an X if I ever did see one, bro.
I legitimately, I'm watching it. I'm like, man, God really has favorites, and I'm not going to argue. I'm going to be honest with you.
If you're Quincy Porter Jr., are you seeing those highlights like, bro, I got to get the fuck up on out of here?
It happened with Noah Rogers. Noah Rogers saw 2 Jeremiah Smith highlights, saw he was the backup X, and said, NC State it is.
No, but what's your under talked about storyline that you're looking forward to for this year?
Dude, here we go. I think that the current roster construction of this team is to make sure what happened in 2020 against Steve Sarkisian never happens again. I think that loss may be for Ryan Day, the person, might be the most embarrassing loss, because in 2020 when they played Alabama, the thing that we saw happen to Ryan Day was never supposed to happen. Like, obviously we hear about him getting out tough, like whatever, like he's gonna have to wear that and like, soft program, whatever. I don't think he really cares too much about that. I think the thing that he holds near and dear to his heart is, I'm the best scheme guy in America. I'm the best schemer regardless of level. Like, it's me, it's Shanahan, it's McVay. When Sark came in there and Sark put on a masterclass and embarrassed him and had Devontae Smith running away from Tough Borland, and I hired the DC that allowed this to happen, I think from there on out, Ryan Day went on this quest to build a defense that would never happen to again in terms of athleticism, in terms of personnel, and most importantly, in terms of having a coordinator that will never get out schemed that badly. You gotta sit here and say, I don't think Jim Knowles ever got out schemed while he was here, except for once against Todd Monken. I don't think he got out schemed against Michigan. I think we had DBs that couldn't tackle. But the other time that Ryan Day got out schemed was that Sark 1 matchup. And this matchup, we won't have that because there are no more Tough Borlands. There are no more Kerry Combs. And so I think that loss did a lot for him and this is like the evolution of that team. So that's kind of my storyline heading into this game.
It was hard to argue with what you're saying based on who's going to trot out there in the first defensive snaps at linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like they had a chance to really lean into like that style linebacker, and they didn't. They kind of politely kind of started to shuffle away from it.
Yeah, I definitely. That's got to be the worst defeat so far as score that he's ever had in his whole life.
Yeah, worst defeat as far as score, and like optically, like here we go. Like we know that Ryan Day sits down in rooms with football scheme guys and talks football scheme. Like that's an embarrassing blemish to have.
Yeah, and he's 70-10 as a head coach, and all of his losses are to top 5 teams except for last year's Michigan game.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them felt like that one felt. None of them felt like we are not even close.
Yeah.
And like Ohio State's really never felt like that before.
No, that it was a bizarre feeling.
I watched that game and I was like, boy, we are not even close to that good.
Yeah, like I felt like the game was over. Like I'm not used to one player just like ripping a team to shreds.
Yeah.
So that's my storyline. Is Sark versus Day 2. I think it's really is a really fascinating thing.
I think. I'm excited. I'm definitely like in that mode where I leading up to the game, I'm very like objective and realistic.
Yeah.
And then Saturday morning comes and like Buckeyes by a fucking million.
I want to ask, I'm kind of there with you. I want to ask you a question. Who do you think's done a better job of developing quarterbacks, Sark or Day?
Well, who's on Sark's resume before Alabama?
Liner than them.
Oh, whoa. He goes way back.
Oh, dude, that was Pete Carroll's Ryan Day.
Okay. All right. So, wow. All right. So here's what I would say. From a pure quarterback talent as a passer, I think Ryan Day has the best of the two. I think CJ Stroud as a pure passer of the football, reading a defense, running an offense, CJ Stroud is better than both of the guys that they've had.
Both the guys than who's had?
Like Sark and Day. I think CJ is the best
of the group.
Okay. However, I would say that Sark. Would you call Quinn Ewers a miss?
Well, I was gonna get into that, but just real quick, the resume before you continue, like Carson Palmer's also a Sark resume. Just floating that.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Shit.
Yeah. So he went Carson to Matt, and then he had Mark Sanchez and Matt Barkley.
I mean, Carson Palmer is better than all of those guys.
Yeah. So he was USC. I mean, he was USC from 2001 essentially to 2008. There was one gap year.
And then where was he at before he went to Alabama?
No, he was at Washington, and then he was the head coach at USC. He was the coach that offered Tate Martell first at Washington, and then he was at USC. Then he got in trouble, and then he ended up at Bama in 2016.
And he was at Bama for 4 years?
And he went from Bama to the Falcons.
Back to Bama.
then back to Bama.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Carson Palmer and CJ Stroud as a pure passer is like, I don't know. Do you like apples or do you like oranges? Like, they're both.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
Do you like clementines or tangerines?
Yeah. It's like, dude, whatever your flavor is. I don't, I think,
because I think here we go. And the reason I asked that,
Sark's resume is a little bit deeper than Ryan.
It's deeper, been around longer. I asked the question because I feel like they're kind of in similar places. Kyle McCord, 5-star, didn't work out, right? Yes. Quinn Ewers, 5-star.
I say that's a miss.
Yeah, those two didn't really work out. And then next up, I've got, Arch and Sand. So it's like we're kind of in that same like.
And I guess the knock against Ryan is that he's had to go to the portal. He went to the portal.
Yeah, and it's like, well, do you consider like Julian Sand like a portal quarterback?
No, I don't consider Julian Sand a portal quarterback.
Okay,
he was at Alabama for like 30 seconds. He didn't even step foot in a classroom at Alabama.
No, never touched the practice field.
Yeah, so no, and I can't wait for Gus Johnson to be like the Alabama transfer. Like, shut up, Gus. But like having to go get Will Howard isn't the greatest look. If you're a QB guy, QB evaluator, QB guy, shouldn't have to do that.
And it is wild that Quinn Ewers' 2 quarterback coaches were Ryan Day and Sark, and he still was a miss.
2-pack of ass. Yeah, I think he should have kept the mullet. I think he had powers with the mullet.
Yeah, well, we never. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he looked crazy in that one Alabama game.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Sark and Ryan Day they're so far and away the 2 best. I don't even think there's a close third. I really don't. Like when it comes to just like quarterback and offensive play calling and scheming, like I don't think there's a close third in college football. I think those 2 are just so head and shoulders better than everybody else. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. We're gonna have a big pregame show on Dead Air Sports.
Yeah, either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know when it's going to air. We got to iron that out behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Probably Wednesday morning, unless we do it live. I don't know yet.
Yeah, sometime this week, maybe even Saturday morning before the games.
Oh yeah, that too. I'm way out of sorts right now. Yeah.
But
yeah, we're gonna. It'll be somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear me out?
Yeah, I do, and I think considering the weekend you just had, I think we're going to be able to agree. I think day drinking is just not for me anymore. I think I'm over it.
I'm not hanging the jersey up in the rafters, dude.
I'm tying the laces and throwing them over the phone lines.
Yeah, that's the signal, bro. It's over. I
can't do it, man. And I even stayed steady and I drank the same thing all day. Still couldn't do it. Even drank water during the day. Still couldn't do it.
Dude, like
people that be doing this, must have no responsibilities. None.
Dude.
Because you know what? You know who doesn't care how I feel? My kids.
Oh yeah.
My son woke up at 5:45 the next day.
He didn't give a damn what Tyler was doing.
Nope.
We both day drank this week, and
yeah, bro. If you day drinking makes the next day after a day drinking session, you got to reevaluate your whole life.
Dude, I'm sitting here like I want to be sober now. And I'm lying. But
you got to really, it makes you really reevaluate what you got going on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I do this? Why do I choose to feel like this?
I'm literally poisoning myself.
And the worst part about it is that you have so much fun doing it.
It's so fun.
It is the most fun.
Dude.
But dog, I am just not, I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah. And I'm starting to feel the 2-day hangovers.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if this is going to be a 4-day hangover.
You're not going to feel great. You're not going to feel great tomorrow until like 3:00 in the afternoon.
I don't like
You're not going to feel normal until like 3 in the afternoon.
I mean, the thing is, I started drinking a lot on Friday.
Oh, so you did like a bender.
I think this is my first bender of my life.
Dog, that's not a day. That's a bender. 2 days of that's a bender.
Yeah, this is the first time I've drank 3 straight days.
If you day drink and then wake up the next day and do it again, that's a bender.
Well, I drank Friday during the day, Saturday at night, and then today I had my first drink at 11:30 or 10:30.
That is a bender, my friend.
Yeah, I'm struggling, but you can attest. I was sending work through the whole thing.
He was getting it in.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. But man, what a love-hate relationship that is.
Yeah, no, it's the toxic girlfriend.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100% agree.
Those who know really, really know.
Yeah, you got one. You gotta have one. You can't have the weekend you had to not have something to say.
Mine was also drinking related. People that order hard liquor just on the rocks, what kind of trauma do you have? Because I don't care what anybody says. Tito's on the rocks is not good. I don't create anybody. I don't why are you like? I feel like because here we go. Like these old folk, they'll get like Tito's on the rocks or like a bourbon on the rocks, and they'll judge me for mixing a Sprite or mixing a Coke in. So are you judging me because I didn't have the same trauma you had? Because there's no way that you think this is good or smooth or whatever.
I think there's an age thing because like old dudes drink like scotch, neat, not even ice, bro.
They're insane.
They don't have trauma. They just don't have any taste buds, brother. That's
got to be it, dude.
But like if you drink certain liquors like vodka on the rocks, you either have trauma or you are a Russian spy.
I think I drank with a bunch of Russian spies this weekend. Tyler, I felt so much shame. I started sneaking Sprite in my vodka, my Tito's.
Hey, man.
It tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Dude, if you won't feel real shame until you just say, just give me Sprite. That is real shame.
Real shame.
Now you're lying and faking it.
Yeah.
No, there's vodka in here. What you mean? Fucked up.
It's funny, Tyler. Like you've been around me long enough. Like I'm kind of like just ignorant in general to be around. People think I'm drunk all the time, even when I'm not. Just because I be getting it in. And Tyler, I got a text to go out tonight too. So.
That
ain't it.
That's where you be like, dog, I've been sleeping. What you mean?
I'm done. I'm out of gas. I'm Chris. That's Tyler.
Peace.